Escape to the action at Seminole Casino Hotel in Immokalee. It's Vegas style 24/7 because just like Vegas, Seminole Casino Hotel never closes. It's pure entertainment anytime you want, and it's truly where paradise wins.
Has it happened to you yet? Have you received your new debit and credit card in the mail? As we approach the October 2015 transition deadline, a recent study by Visa shows that 83% of consumers are aware of chip cards, but only 34% had a good understanding of chip cards. So how does it work? Well, Stephanie Erickson, Vice President of Risk Products at Visa, joins us to answer some of those questions. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Carly.
So I'm interested to learn more about this chip technology because I myself have been one of the millions that have had their credit cards hacked, and nothing is more frustrating. So explain how this chip technology is actually going to, I would hope, cut down on that, right? That's the goal, hopefully?
Yes, well, many people already have chip cards in their wallets today because many banks have been reissuing their cards. By the end of this year, roughly 60% of the cards in the U.S. will be reissued as chip, and that will just continue as we go forward. But the key benefit we get out of chip technology is every time that a chip card is used, that it's generating a unique one-time code that changes for each transaction. And the key benefit of that is if that data is stolen from a merchant data breach or a criminal trying to hack into a merchant's computer system, they can't use that data to create counterfeit cards or do counterfeit fraud, which is roughly 2/3 of the fraud we see in stores today. So it also makes that data a lot less attractive for criminals to try to steal.
Ah, that is what I wanted to hear. So how long will our current cards, still be working? How do we make sure we have these chip cards? And I'm assuming everybody is going to be getting these? We have to get them?
Well, by October of this year is when we'll start to see a big transition of moving to chip technology. Many issuers are going to be reissuing their cards as chip, about 60% by the end of this year, and about 47% of the merchant terminals will be upgraded to be able to read those chips. And then it will also take a few more years to get to 90% of our transactions. But certainly we'll see an uptick in chip cards as well as chip transactions at merchants where people shop every day going into this holiday period.
All right. Well, I would imagine that this is a win-win for both us as consumers and obviously, wanting to keep our own money, but for the stores as well, right? They've got to be liking this.
Right. Well, credit and debit cards are still the most secure way to pay, but as we move to chip technology, it certainly makes consumers a lot more confident in their transaction being secure and maintaining the security of electronic payments. It also makes the data a lot less attractive for criminals to try to steal, so there's less of an opportunity or less of a reason for criminals to try to break into merchant systems as we move to chip technology.
Now, how do you think this will change, the way we shop in the coming months and years? Is this just the beginning, do you think, as we try to crack down on this huge problem? Or where do you see the future of shopping and how safe it is when we are using our debit cards so much and credit cards?
Yeah, well, as consumers begin to use chip cards, for example, rather than swiping the mag stripe on their card, they'll begin to insert the chip end of their card into the terminal. And that's when that unique one-time code is being generated. And the rest of the payment transaction continues as it does today. But we're also seeing that as merchants are upgrading to accept chip, they're also upgrading to accept mobile transactions like Apple Pay, for example, which uses the same security and chip technology. So as we move towards chip technology for cards, we're securing the card environment, but we're also paving the way towards the future of mobile and other technology.
Yeah, so true. Well, as we close here, what do you want people to really understand and make sure that they are doing correctly so that way, we're not victims of these scams and all these hackers out there?
Yeah, for consumers, the key difference is over time, they'll be swiping their cards less and inserting the chip into their cards more. They're always protected with zero fraud liability protection. But if they'd like more information about how chip cards work and what the transition means, they can go to visachip.com for additional information, as well as some great videos on how to do a chip transaction.
Sounds good. Stephanie, thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Carly.
That's all good news there. All right. For more information, all you have to do is head to our website, fox4morningblend.com.
Ditch distracted driving. Up next, how you can join the race to help keep drivers safe on the road.